Hello, Upper Sumith. Mr. C here with your third Charlotte's Web directed drawing. This time, we're doing Templeton. So, we're not going to start in the very middle of your page. This time we're going to start a little bit over and up, right about here. Here we go. We're going to start with a nice curve. Up and around, down and over, and a curve down, like that. And another curve right about here, the other way, up and around, over, follow the other line, come close, and stop. That is going to be his nose. Part of his nose. The very end of his nose we can do here as kind of an upside down triangle. Okay? Now his eye, we're going to start here and we're curve up and down and come to a point like this. Up and down and come to a point. And then another curve underneath. And a little bit of his eye, half circle in there. And you color that black, color it in. Or you can wait. If you're using pencil, do it all in pencil first, especially for kindergartners. And then you can go over it with your Sharpie and then erase it with the pencil. And the other side, we'll do his other eye. Do a little curve like that. And then another curve underneath. And you're going to put a little half circle underneath the first curve. Color it in. And above his eye over here, we'll just put a little eyebrow. Like that. And you've got most of his face already. Let's do some of his ear. See where that curve ends? Go over, start right about there. And then you're going to stop his ear right about there. So we're going to do a big curve around and join those two dots. Here we go. Like that. And then you can follow that curve on the inside, a little bit thin on this side, a little bit thicker on that side. Ready? There we go. Kind of gets thin at the top, and then it gets a little bit thicker when you come around the other side, like that. Now, because he's a rat, he's a little bit furry, we're going to do some zigzag curves and zigzag lines to show some fur. So these two ends we're going to connect with a couple of zigzags. Start to show some fur there. We're going to do another zigzag line. This is the top of his head, going this way. See where the middle of his eye is here? Right about up there is where we're going to stop. You ready? Here we go. Zigzag, big zigzag, little zigzag. You can kind of make it up as you go. It doesn't have to be exactly like what I do. As you get some zigzags in there, and then stop at that point. Let's do his other ear. Now his other ear is going to stop right about where this curve stops. So it's going to start here, go around and come to there. Here we go. Up, around, down, and stop there. Now, like over here, we're going to draw the inside of the ear. So it's going to get really skinny here and then get a little bit fatter there. Here we go. Around, skinny, and then fatten it out there. And you can give it a little bit of a zigzag and close off his ear. So that's the top of his head and his two ears. And if you want, you can give him a little bit of a funny haircut. The top of his head. Now we need to get a cheek in there. This fuzzy little cheek. So zigzag, zigzag, and come underneath there, like that. Now let's finish his nose. On this side, we're going to come from the cheek and go around to where his nose is. Like that. Now, how about we do his mouth next? So right kind of just below where his eye starts, let's do a little bracket like that. Are you all cut up? Now for his mouth, we're going to do kind of like an S. We'll start here, curve down, and then up, and then down again, and come right up underneath his nose. Here we go. Down, up, down, right under his nose, like that. Now, let's give him a couple of teeth. So down, down, and then join those two lines and put a line in the middle. Now he's got a couple of teeth sticking out there. Now we're going to draw the bottom of his mouth, and it's going to end right about there in the middle of his teeth, and it's going to start here. So we're going to follow this line underneath. Here we go. And then curve up and under there. Let's put another tooth in there. Down, down, and join the lines. How about that? Now we need to put his jaw in there. Because his mouth is kind of hanging in space, we need to add a jaw. So his jaw is going to go right underneath there and start over here. So a little bit of a curve and underneath, like that. There's his jaw. Now let's give him a little more of a cheek on this side. So starting where our first curve started, we're going to do a zigzag curve this way and come down about there. Now we can go a bit further. Watch. We're going to start here, zigzag, curve around, and come all the way down to there. Here we go. Zigzag, 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 and curve around. Curve the other way down to there. Now the rest of his head starts at the bottom of his ear, zigzag, zigzag, and come right underneath there. There we go. Now, oops, I bumped the camera. Everything okay? There we go. Where we stopped here, we're going to add his little fingers and his claws. So starting here, you're going to come up and around to a point right about there, and then come back. Here we go. Up, oops, up, around to a point. And then go back and stop. Now go in a little bit, come up and around and curl down like that. A little bit further. And then come down, up and around, curl down, around, and then to a point, and curve the other way. Do a little bracket, and then curve back this way. Now we're going to do where his fur meets his hand. So that's another zigzag, and we're going to connect those 2 points. Now let's get his shoulder and his arm in there. So right about where his jaw is, come over to this line, curve, zigzag, zigzag, curve, zigzag, zigzag, up and around. Like that. Well, that should go over there. There we go. How we doing? Are you ready? Let's do his other arm. Right about where his cheek meets his nose, we're going to do a zigzag curve, and then stop right about there. Here we go. Zigzag, zigzag, zig, and stop. That's his shoulder. Now let's do the top of his arm. So we're going to come underneath a little bit over and underneath, and we're going to go to right about there. Just a nice curve. You could put some zigzags in if you want to, and then come up to there. And then come down. See where that starts? Come down. You're going to start right about there. He's kind of pointing at it. And we're going to go up to there, a little bit over from where we stopped on the last line. We're going to make a curve around like that. Here we go. If my pen's going to work. There we go. And we're going to join these two with, you guessed it, another zigzag. Now let's put his hand in, his other little paw. Let's start here, up, curve out to a point, and then come down like that. Then we're going to curve the other way, like this, come down like that. Now, another point, curve up and come down like that. Now we're going to put his pinky on, start here, go up and around, come underneath where you stopped, make a point, and then curve it under, like that. And this finger here, or this little claw, comes underneath a little bit. So it's behind, so you can draw another line just underneath there, like that. And another line under there. And then a little curve for his palm. There you go. Now, kindergarten, if you want, if that's hard enough for you, you can stop there. If you want a little more challenge, let's draw the rest of his body. So let's start with his tummy. So right about under his nose, we're going to draw a curve. It's going to come around and it's going to stop right about there. And you can zigzag this one because that's lots of fur. Zigzag, 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 and stop. Now let's just get his... Now, what should we do next? How about part of his leg? So right about here, we're going to curve around, touch this line, curve around, you can zigzag, curve around, and come underneath and stop. So it's going to be like a big C. Ready? Curve, touch, zigzag, zigzag, come around, underneath, and stop. Now his belly, we're going to start right above his wrist here, curve around, and scoop underneath and touch right about there by his leg. Ready? So curve, you can zigzag because he's got a furry belly. Come around and scoop underneath like that. Very good. This part, we're going to go up to where his tail's going to start. So we're going to curve down, around, and stop there. And we'll finish his back and stop there. So starting under his elbow, curve, zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. Keep curving down now and stop. Now let's join those two, where his fur ends and his tail starts. You guessed it, more zigzag. How's it looking? Alright, let's do his tail. Right about here, a little bit below his wrist and over. That's where his tail is going to end. I'll start here and do a big backwards C and curve up. Here we go. You ready? Like that. Now you're going to take that point, follow it, kind of skinny. It gets a little fatter and connects down here. Here we go. Like that. Now let's put his other leg in there. So we're going to start a little bit down from his other hand. We're going to zigzag curve around, come right underneath to his belly. Here we go. There we go. Now we got two more things to add. That's his feet. So, and his toes. So starting about here to a little point and over. To another point and over. And starting back, see this is part of a toe here. We're going to come down, follow that line down with a point and over, like that. And then draw a straight line over like that. Now this other foot is going to touch here. His toe is going to start up here, come down to a point, and like that. Another toe can start here, another point, like that. Now his last toe is going to start about here to a point, scoop around, and then scoop up into there. There we go. Point, around, up, and into there. And there we go. We have Templeton. Now, there's a couple of places you can color in black. You've done his eyes, hopefully, already. You can color in his nose black. And if you want to leave a tiny little white bit to make it look like a reflection coming off his nose, you can do that, or color it all in black. And then inside his mouth, there's one little line we missed, a little curve here. That's going to be his tongue. Now, in between there and his tooth, you can color that black. Make sure you don't color his tongue or the tooth. I'm going to leave that white. And then the other side of his tooth, color that black. Follow around, color in down to his little buck teeth there. Colored all in black, because that's his mouth. So his two pupils, his mouth, and his nose, you can color in black. And if you wanted to, you could give him little points or claws on his feet. And there we go. There's Templeton. Now, if you want to color Templeton like that, I'll show you what I did. I used yellow, a grayish blue, red, I might use a bit of black, and there's a light gray and a dark gray. So obviously I did some yellow for his eyes to make them pop a little bit. And then his cute little tongue, color that red. And to give some definition, we've got two different kind of grays. It's kind of a gray blue, and I've got a light and a dark gray, where I can do the rest of his fur. So as you can see, I've done just kind of a wash. It's what they call a color wash. I've turned my pencil sideways, so I get a nice wash all over. And now if you want to go up to the next level in your drawing, you want to add a little bit of shadow and make it look so he's more round and not so flat. Then you take your dark gray and you go darker in some places. Push harder, like underneath his arm. Probably going to be a bit of shadow under there, like that. Along his back. So I have the light coming from here in this direction, which means there's going to be shadow over here. Now you guys in kindergarten, if you just want to stop with Wilbur's face, you could do that. If you want to level up a bit, everybody, you can start with his whole body and start adding some shadow, coloring in his back a bit. Remember to blend it. Don't make it a hard line. You want to blend it in a little bit.